The Australian share market ended down 0.1%. Comes after 4 consecutive days of gains for the US stock market on optimism around a trade deal between China and the US. The best performing sector was the energy sector, followed by the material sector, and we also saw a rebound in the healthcare space. On the flip side, the telecom sector was the worst performing, weighed down by Telstra's results. We saw Telstra shares losing 2% after its half-year numbers. The company announcing an interim dividend of 5 cents plus a special dividend of 3 cents. That means the dividend payout ratio is sitting at 60% compared to Telstra's target of 70 to 90%. That implies that for the second half, the dividend is likely to be flat year on year. We did see total revenue down by 1.7%, but mobile revenue increased by 2.4%. That increase, though, primarily due to an accounting change of mobile leases, which was included in mobile revenue this year. Telstra coming out to confirm its FY19 guidance for total income between $26.2 to $28.1 billion and earnings between $8.7 to $9.4 billion. We saw AMP shares having a horror day on the market, shares down by 8%. We saw wealth management cash net outflows of almost $4 billion in 2018. The company including a $430 million provision for future remediation, and the net profit after tax down by a massive 97%, underlying profit down by 35%. On a brighter note, Breville shares up by 18% on the back of a stellar result. The dividend being increased to 18.5 cents from 16.5 cents previously, and double-digit growth coming through for its core markets of North America as well as the UK. The Australian division also doing well, although the New Zealand division did soften. Breville coming out to say that it expects to beat market consensus growth of 11% for the full year. City Chic, also a stock having an extraordinary day. The shares up by a massive 39% after its result. This company was formerly Specialty Fashion Group and saw comparable sales growth of 9.6%. Gross margin also increasing to 60.4%. The underlying EBITDA up by 22%. They announced a dividend of 2.5% as well as a special dividend of 2.5 cents. Cleanaway shares doing well, up by 13% after its first half numbers showed net profit up by 35% and revenue increasing by 47%. The company seeing momentum continuing into the second half of the year. Magellan Financial Group was up by 10%. It did see its adjusted net profit up by 62%. Its interim dividend was up by 66%, and funds under management for the period up by 25%. And a bit of a juxtaposition in the property space. We saw Unibail Westfield shares down by 8%, while we saw Goodman Group shares hitting an all-time record high, the company increasing its growth target from 7% to 9.5%. And South32 raising its dividend to 5.1 cents for its final dividend and declaring a special dividend of 1.7 cents. The shares up by 3.5%. Meanwhile, at Treasury Wine Estates, we saw earnings before interest and tax up by 19%. The company reconfirming growth guidance for the full year of 25%, but the shares only up by 0.6%. So all in all, a huge day for the Australian share market and some big moves from those companies reporting. But in the end, the benchmark index hardly moved at all, down by just 0.1%.